I see, according to not Dura but Durga, biography of Paramhansa, that it's not that he didn't sleep at all, it's just that he had dramatically less sleep than most people, somewhere typically between 2 and 6 hours, and in general very few hours per night. And I seem to fall into that category, which I find interesting. I own it personally to my dominantly fruit diet. I say dominantly, not perfectly by any means, but dominantly. That I find the more I'm on fruit, the less sleep I need. And Paramahansa was not all on fruit, although he was vegetarian. And obviously you're going to have to look at the weight of the man. He ate too much, for whatever supposed reason. But I think diet is the key thing for me. I don't think that was the key thing for Paramahansa. I think like someone like Mrs. Thatcher, it was his driving purpose that made him, in effect, minimize sleep. Mrs. Thatcher had I think, the disastrous consequence, perhaps not directly from that, but from her way of life of ending up with Parkinson's, that I think was the cause of her death. I'm fascinated by why Paramahansa's chief disciple, Rajasi, who took over for the few years of life he had left after Paramahansa died, why he died of brain cancer, brain tumour. From Durga's description of Rajasi's diet, I'm amazed that he died of cancer, that he had cancer. Although, come to think of it, she was very clear that, no, let me correct that. She was clear that Paramhansa made a lot of curries. And I think it's the case that in Paramhansa's company, I'm not sure what Rajasi actually ate. And anyway, he wasn't in Paramhansa's actual company that much compared to the demands of his work. Well, not in his physical company anyway, eating meals. I can't understand why Rajasi died of brain cancer. Really shouldn't get that with a largely raw diet, majoring in fruit, that Rajasi seemed to have been eating according to Durga's account. Although it occurs to me slightly that, is it like Margaret Thatcher, that they were both so majorly motivated, workaholics, quite simply, burning up all of life's resources in utter dedication to a work schedule that, as they saw it, was paying off. Well, Rajasi definitely didn't see it paying off. He searched out the spiritual need that was not being met, and found that, of course, in Paramhansa. was very unhappy before he knew Paramahansa, in fact, longing for some meaning to life. Whereas Mrs. Thatcher's meaning to life was her conception of, I don't know, how Britain should be or something. I'm not very sympathetic to her view. Rajasi clearly came to the reality that his astonishing business success was not going to meet his true inner needs. Hence the spiritual quest that he was also on, which I guess he pursued equally seriously. As I see it, all three wrecked their health in their abandonment of purpose, and used their health up as a resource to achieve their goals. In short, their goals, their purpose ruled them. They worshipped the goal, and the process of getting there. Same with Kriyananda. I mean, obsessively wrote books, an enormous number of songs too, music and songs. I mean, a productivity that was, in all three cases, not required. A peace and a beholding of what is truly of value. Should have been priority. Naturally and spontaneously giving birth to the necessary input to contribute towards it, but not feel that your input was absolutely vital and necessary, and God won't do it any other way. That not only must it be done through you, but must all be done through you, and all be done perfectly, and it's going to be touch and go whether you have enough resources to do it, and you've got to go to the absolute limit and strain and stress to achieve something that is, after all, utterly in God's hands, not yours at all. It's an acute lack of humility in all such cases, isn't it? That says, I am key to this being achieved, instead of, this is what God is doing. Let's enjoy contributing to it. He's happy to have me contribute. I am not the essential link. I am not the kingpin, the only way of him doing it. That's a nonsense. Rather, isn't it a joy to be part of his astonishing creativity? Let us enjoy doing that. And we'll probably mess up on a bit of it, but he's bigger than that, isn't he? He can certainly handle that. Thank you, Heavenly Father. So we are clearer on what is the right way, is to behold the right future, that which you truly value, life eternal, and to contribute towards it should be a joy and a good pastime, running in parallel with that awareness and contemplation. The pursuit should not be dominating the now. The awareness should be in the now. And such playful contributions as we can make and enjoy making and want to make and find a joy and find we have the peace and wherewithal and the resources to do. Well, that's lovely. But we're not stressing as if our failure to achieve such is going to be a disaster. I mean, goodness gracious me, does God run the show or not? It's not us. We're just delighting in being part of the creation, having some experience and contributing with Him. That's lovely. Thinking we're running a show, that's cuckoo. That's a complete waste of time. Absolute disaster. You'll just end up exhausted and utterly disillusioned. You know, you'll be like Paramahansa saying to Kriyananda, everyone's failed me, only you, my hope is in you, you must not fail me. I mean, that's a nonsense, isn't it? And we're not failing Him anyway. God is our Father, and we're not here to succeed or fail. We're here simply to enter into the full experience of His loving care and blossom accordingly. He does a far greater thing in us than through us. He can achieve the transformation of the world yesterday if He so chooses. And He doesn't. He chooses to nurture us because He's a lovely person. He's our God, our Heavenly Father. Thank you, Heavenly Father,